Hey, what's up everyone? This is Ray Luzier from Korn, and you're watching Linea Rock. I just got out of the shower. We just did a big rock show.
Hi Ray.
Hi.
Welcome back to Milan.
Great to be here.
And welcome to Linea Rock.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we're in Milan at the Alcatraz. You just finished a great show.
Thank you.
And actually the tour just started.
Yes.
And this is, do you think this is one of the best combos, you know, with Burn and Hellyeah? Because there's a lot of the ticket sales are going very good.
Yeah.
So from your point of view, how is it going?
It's weird because a lot of these bands, we've been touring so long that a lot of these bands are friends of ours. So of course, it's always, you know, Vinnie's a legend. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Pantera was a lot of the reasons a lot of heavy bands started. So it's great being out with them. I'm pretty new to Heaven Shall Burn. They're really cool guys from Germany. I got turned on to their music last year.
Yeah.
And I understand they're quite popular over here, and I'm glad to hear that. So I think the combination with all three bands, you get a good dose of different types of hard rock and metal. And so far it's been great. We started in Switzerland.
Yes, last night.
And
it was Vinnie's birthday.
Yes, Vinnie's birthday. We got him, gave him a cake on stage and surprised him. So it's just great to be here and be back in Europe. I love touring here. You know, Milan is such a great place. The crowd went nuts tonight, and I knew it was going to happen. We had a feeling, you know.
Yeah.
And it gives us energy on stage when we feel how powerful it is from them. Even if we're tired, a little bit jet lagged, we're still getting used to your time change. So we're still kind of like that. Yeah. But the crowd is just like, so it gives us.
It was a great show.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're here also presenting the new album live, The Serenity of Suffering, which is considered one of the best Korn albums ever.
Well,
what do
thanks.
you think?
That's great that people are saying that. I'm very, very proud of it. Serenity of Suffering, we started writing Me, Monkey, and Head around June of 15. When we started writing little ideas and riffs, and then we'd go on tour. Yeah. And then we'd get back together in Los Angeles and write a couple more riffs, go on tour.
All right.
This happened a lot.
Okay.
Then we compiled a bunch of songs, and finally it was time to bring in a great producer. And to me, this album had to have the right producer on it. It couldn't just have just anybody. And long story short, Nick Raskulinecz has always been a fan of mine. We looked at several guys, but Nick, you know, there's a reason the Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age, Alice in Chains, Rush, Deftones, his list is just huge. And I remember hearing the Snakes and Arrows Rush album, and I'm like, wow, they sound like young guys again. There's this new energy about it. And I looked at the album produced by Nick Raskulinecz, you know, and I heard Diamond Eyes by Deftones, and I'm like, they sound amazing, like produced by Nick Raskulinecz. And like, okay, something's up with Nick, you know, and besides the Foo Fighters, you know.
Okay.
And so anyway, once we got together with Nick, he kind of trimmed the fat, so to speak. Like, this riff's not that good. Let's make this riff with this song. And he started, because the outside ears has to happen, right? Yeah. Sometimes you get too close to your music when you're writing it. You get too personal. And then when someone comes in and, you know, sometimes hurts your feelings. Like, you don't want to hear, like, hey, that's a good riff. That's a good lick, you know. But he did such a great job at it. And I honestly think there's no fillers on the new record.
Okay.
It's all quality.
Yes.
And the production had to be really good. And Josh Wilbur came in to mix it, and he just nailed it. I mean, think about it. We can play amazing, but if it's mixed wrong, and the levels are unmatched, Josh really captured the power of Korn, the low end, the old school sound, but today's sound, right, mixed together. So, yeah, I'm very proud. Good. Please go buy it.
So you're Korn drummer since 10 years now?
07, yes.
Okay. How has your contribution and commitment to the band developed through the years? You started softly as a session drummer, then the thing, you know, has been growing, so...
You know, it's weird. A lot of people don't know that I was a session guy for many, many years in Los Angeles, and I made my living doing that. And then I started joining national bands. I did Jakey Lee from Ozzy Osbourne for 3 years. I did David Lee Roth from Van Halen for about 8 years.
You did Steel Panther?
Steel Panther. I was the original drummer in a band called Metal Shop that turned into Steel Panther. So About 5 or 6 years off and on. Yeah, they're quite popular over here, I understand. So just through the years, and I had a lot of failed original bands. You know, I wanted to do the dream just like Korn.
Yeah.
My original bands in LA would get really close to getting a record deal and then nothing.
Okay.
You work very hard, you're selling at clubs and you're promoting, but we just didn't have what it took, you know. So I found that joining national bands that are already established was easier for me to make a living. I could pay my bills and I didn't starve anymore, you know. So joining a band like Korn is not like joining, you know, David Lee Roth or Army of Anyone, my last band. It's very special. It's a very unique animal, you know. When all the bands in the 90s came out, Soundgarden, you know, Alice in Chains, SDP, Pearl Jam, Korn just come straight up through the center and said, no, we sound like this.
Yeah.
We don't sound like anybody. We're 5 kids from Bakersfield and they had their own unique sound, and it's magical, you know, and there's a reason it appealed to the masses and did so well. So coming into a band like this, I was just looking at it as like, okay, I'm a touring drummer. They hired me to do this, and then a year went by, 2 years went by, and then the third year in 2009, they said, hey, we want you to stay in the band. We want you to be a member. And I was like, me? Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, we want you to be a part of this. And I'm like, wow, I'm blown away, you know. So it really took me years to get my identity in the band, because you don't just join a band like Korn. You don't just, I don't care how technical you are, how your skills are, how much experience. You have to get the band. You have to understand and get inside the music. It's about emotion and feel. And although I have a lot of technical abilities and I know how to read and I can teach music, and all that doesn't matter. It's here, it's the heart. Yeah. And you have to, it took me many years to really, and it's funny because these guys are so great and patient with me. Everything I do, John will be like, just feel it, man. Just feel it. You're thinking about it too much. Don't think about it. Just
let it go.
Let it go. Be a part of it. And it took me years, but then, you know, 5, 6 years ago, I really started sinking into it, you know, and it's such a great place to be, you know. Everyone's just focused on music and family now. There's no drama. There's no BS, you know. This is their 23rd year, you know.
Do you think that your drumming changed your style since you joined Korn, in a sense, or?
Yeah, I mean, more as a band member, you know, my style changed. Because like I said, I was a chameleon. I kind of adapted to, okay, I'm playing a country song, I'm playing a jazz song, I'm playing a fusion. Yeah. This was like Korn. It's a whole, you know. So, and when Head joined back, it really made me feel a part, because I've always wanted the 4 original up front of me. And when he joined, it really felt like, okay, this is this band now. I can get it, you know. And yeah, like I said, it took me several years, but I'm glad that I wrote it out, and they let me write it out and really see, you know.
So you mean that this was tougher for you than, you know, being the drummer of a prima donna like David Lee Roth was? Yeah,
sure, because I grew up playing Van Halen. I grew up playing Hot for Teacher in my underwear in Pennsylvania, you know, with 16, going, you know, sucking really bad to try to play this song. And now I'm on stage every night with David Lee Roth. I mean, it was a dream, you know, surreal. And even Stone Temple Pilots, like I'm playing with Robert and Dean DeLeo and Richard from Filter, going, wow, it's surreal. So it was easier to slide into that band because it was more of a part of me, you know. Korn doesn't sound like anybody else, you know. And even though it's not complex music, it's still a certain thing, you know. And it's weird because I got a lot of flack the first several years because, you know, I'm not the original member, and I get that because I'm a fan too. I don't want to see a new guy in Alice in Chains, or you know, there's a new singer in Journey or a new drummer in this band. Yeah. People love the sound they first heard. Yeah. But if it's not me, it's going to be someone else. Korn's going to live on. So if I wasn't the drummer, someone else would have this job. You know. So it's like it's very important. You know, it took a long time for the people to understand that. You know.
So after 25 years, Korn are still considered new metal. Do this actually make you laugh, or?
You know, to me, I don't know what that is. I mean, anyone can make a style up. You can say it's I don't know. All this emo, I don't get it. It's like, to me, Korn is Korn. It's its own thing. It's hard rock. It's metal. It's hip hop. It's funk. It's all this stuff wrapped into one, you know, because it's not just aggressive metal music. I can't call it metal, but hard rock doesn't really fit it either.
Okay.
It's, you know, but it's Korn. It's the style.
Now, what do you think that Korn gained with your drumming and with your personality?
Good-looking guy.
Okay,
no,
that's cool.
No. You know, I asked Jonathan because he's first and foremost a drummer, you know, and he knows every note I play every single night, which is good and bad, you know. He never once said, you know, like, play it like this, play it like this. He just said, we hired Ray Luzier because we want Ray Luzier in the band. So we want your style.
Yeah.
And that meant a lot to me,
sure.
because, you know, he could have said, hey, look, play exactly like the record. You do stuff, you can do what you want. He didn't say that. So, but also, there's people, when you play the older songs, air jamming the drum parts to the older songs. So, of course, I honor what was already there, you know, and I respect the drum parts, you know. But eventually it kind of evolves into your own thing. So I'd like to think I brought a little bit more spark, you know, to the band, because I really 100% live for music, and this is all I do. So when it's the only thing you do, the passion for it is pretty vast. Like, I don't have any other interest, you know, except for my family. So when you have that drive that just goes leaning forward, you know, it kind of has an effect, an impact on the band, you know. So I'd like to think I gave it a little push, you know, and drive maybe, you know.
And I heard you are basically a self-taught as a drummer. Do you think that doing it by yourself actually helps developing, you know, a unique style?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was self-taught for a very long time because I was born on this giant farm in Pittsburgh. So all I knew is how to play the records.
Okay.
I just put a record on, drum to it. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
In high school, I started learning quarter notes and how to read and what to, you know.
Sure.
And then when I graduated from high school, me and my guitar player at the time moved to Hollywood, California. And that's when we attended Musicians Institute.
Yeah.
So I took a year of school. Then I got my ass kicked because I didn't know jazz, Latin, funk, reggae, country. I was just a rock metalhead. I played to Ozzy, Kiss, Rush, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. Any band that my sister listened to, you know, she's 5 years older, I just stole her records and played to, you know. So that's why I was self-taught. But then when I went to music school, I was like, what is all this? I don't know how to play all this. So it was, and that lasted for years. I still practice what I learned in that school, you know.
Yeah. Last question. So you got married last year.
Yeah.
And the spark of your relation actually was an interview, like we're doing now.
Yes.
You also stated that now you feel complete, that you're more married than most of your married friends, and you said you waited the right moment because it had to be, you know, once in a lifetime, once and forever.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself in 10 years by now, still rocking around the world, or more as a family man?
I hope both.
Okay.
Because, of course, my family's first and foremost of everything. But this is in my blood. This is all I do. So I was joking with Jonathan. I said, me and him will probably die on stage. Like, it would be the ultimate, just to go out. Like, I just have a heart attack on stage and bye, you know. But, yeah, I don't know. To be honest, 10 years ago, I didn't think I'd be touring in my 40s. And I'm 46. I didn't think that. I thought I'd be like, when I'm 40, maybe I'll teach at a music school or I'll play in a local band. To still be doing this, we feel very lucky and fortunate that people still want to come see us. So, and this band's, I think, better than it's ever been in a long time. Mentally, playing wise, so I don't see any time stopping in the near future.
Is it difficult to deal, you know, to have a family and deal with such a huge, you know, commitment? Because it is.
Yeah, so. You live on Skype and you know what I'm saying? Like your kids, or, you know, they think daddy lives at a computer screen. But we do have time off, and we get to spend some, you know, some quality time. So I hope I get to do both in a while. One more thing I want to mention, I have a new side band called KXM, and we have a new album called Scatterbrain. It comes out the 17th of this month.
Good.
So I'd love for people to check that out too. It's George Lynch from Lynch Mob, Doug Pinnick from King's X. And the production come out really great. We're really proud of it. So check that out.
Right. Thanks very much,
Thank
Ray,
you.
for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.
Good luck.
Ciao.